Welcome to Land Academy. I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit.
We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth.
And sell it on the internet really fast.
We are Jack and Jill,
and this is the Jack and Jill Show too.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property.
Of all kinds, not just land.
For half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala and Jill DeWit.
Hello.
Welcome to our show today. In this episode,
sorry.
in this episode, Jill and I talk about our land investor topics for our live meetup tonight in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
South Bay, really.
Exactly.
Los Angeles.
I have something funny about South Bay I'll say in a minute, too.
Before we get into it, though, let's take a question from one of our callers.
Cool.
On the landacademy.com community.
Exactly.
It's free.
All right. Jordan asks this question. I noticed the latest recording date link next to the menu from which you choose a county in RealQuest Pro. It seems like most counties have very new data. But if you're a little older, how bad is it if the data is significantly, say, over a year in the past?
This is a great question, and it's actually a bigger picture. And I sat down and wrote half of a blog on this exact topic.
Did you? Good.
Called How to Pick a County. So not necessarily, there's a simple 3-step process that we use to pick a county from a demographic standpoint, like where we really think this will logically work. But what you also have to take into consideration is the quality of the data that you're pulling and how much information you might have about once somebody does sign your offer and send it back, can you actually do the research? So there's a few more semi-advanced ways to look at these counties to make sure that you can actually pull off doing a real estate deal. Let me give you a couple examples. In East Texas, in West Texas, and some parts of northern, let's say New Mexico, and there's several other counties like in northern Michigan for some reason, they just don't participate in their RealQuest Pro program.
Right.
And they don't, let's say, have, there's some counties in Arizona, it's hit or miss all over the country, really. There's no rhyme or reason east or west, north or south. They just don't participate in it, or they don't have a GIS site. It's not a high priority. So once you get a little further into this, no one wants to get stumped. And I've never heard of anyone sending a mailer out and getting completely and totally stumped and not buying one property. But if you do it right.
Right.
But you want to look into these things. Does the site does the county have a GIS site? Do they have working hours that, do they work more than one day a week? Some counties, they're so small that everybody's got another job and they only work one day a week. It's hard to get stuff recorded. So you want to look into that. So I guess Jordan's question here is, if it's older data, how bad is it? And the answer, quite honestly, with this product type, is it's not that bad. Okay, these rural vacant properties don't change hands very much. But if you listen to yesterday's show, Jill and I talked about turning some very large ranch-type transactions that are, in the $1 million range. In Southern California, those properties change a lot more frequently, so you want to have fresh data. If you're just starting out and you're going to send out a 2,000-unit mailer, check into these things and just apply common sense. Make it easy on yourself. And if the data is more than, I'm going to say, a year old, and I don't think that anything in RealQuest is more than a year old.
I know.
If it is, I'd love to know about it. I've never run into it. Then I would maybe consider moving on to a different county, but in the end, it's going to be okay.
You know what's interesting is that because we are in constant communication with these guys about the data and the extract
at RealQuest.
And it's so interesting to me because I asked this question. I'm like, what do you guys do for those counties that are so darn rural that they don't even have a computer system, and they say, you know what, we actually have extractors that really go out there and sit with their laptop and flip pages. They actually get the recorded and they're flipping the book and they're flipping the pages and they're manually adding it in. So that really does happen. It's stuff you can't get.
Some counties literally fax in to RealQuest. Are they in Irvine?
RealQuest?
Yeah.
Oh, CoreLogic? Yes. We were in Irvine.
They fax the tax rolls in like it's 1979.
Exactly. I had somebody the other day ask me to fax something, and I'm like, how about if I just scan it and email it to you?
Yeah. What did they say?
Oh, my gosh. It was the funniest thing. It was an insurance person. I'm like, do you have a fax? I'm like, do you have a fax? It was hilarious. Are we really talking about fax?
No.
So anyway, it's funny.
Hilarious.
Okay.
If you have a question or you want to be on the show, reach out to either one of us. on landacademy.com. Today's topic, and this is the meat of the show, are new land investor topics for our meetup tonight.
All right.
I'm a little nervous. I got to be honest.
Oh, you are not.
No.
Are you? Why are you nervous? How are you
Not really.
nervous? Okay. I never see you nervous. I'm like, what? That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard you say.
Have you ever spoken to like a stadium full of people live?
Let me think. Not a stadium.
I haven't either.
I'm trying to think what's the biggest group I've been in front of. There's been, over the years, like, introduced, like, there's high school stuff.
Yeah, like a couple thousand people.
Maybe college stuff and getting up in front. And you remember you and I, we haven't done it in a long time because we're not in Arizona, but remember we would show up and do impromptu teaching of that
It's college
class.
Right.
And so, but you know what I find? As long as you talk about what you really know, then it all comes easy.
Yeah.
If you find yourself in front of a group and you're winging it and you're kind of guessing, you will fail. I think because you shouldn't be up there talking about something, by the way, that you really don't know inside and out.
If I did a course or a seminar on how to lose money, I wouldn't know what I was talking about.
If I did a course or a seminar on how not to get a second date, I wouldn't know what I'm talking about. Just
Or if
kidding.
you did a course or a seminar on, how to not look good, that wouldn't work.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
If I did a course or seminar
Jack.
on, you're welcome.
Okay.
If I did a course or seminar on how to raise kids, that wouldn't work at all.
Oh, boy. If I did a course or a seminar on safety on a snowmobile or a
Oh my
ATV,
gosh, you're right.
I wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
If you did a course on how to fly a plane, you could do it.
I could do that.
I couldn't.
That's true. This is a fun game. All right. So back to our show.
Oh, yeah. What's the show
Yeah,
about?
show. So here's
What are the topics
All right.
tonight?
So here are the topics that we're talking about.
More importantly, what do I have to speak about? Because I have honestly don't
Glad
know.
you asked. I will tell you. Here's what we're talking about tonight. So you can hear it. You'll know now before you see it on the PowerPoint presentation behind you.
Okay, that's good.
That's always helpful. All right. So the topics are 1, the 4 traits that you and I we're 2 years into Land Academy, and well over 2 years of teaching this to people. So.
Yeah.
Over these many, many years, we have identified the top traits on what people have to be successful to do this.
That's good.
So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. And you don't have to have all 4. If you have 1, preferably 1 or 2, it's kind of like the 4 A's.
3 would be good.
And you need to have a few of these too. So we're going to talk about that.
Not money. One of them's not have a ton of money.
One of them's not. Well, you do need to have some funds.
Yeah, but we'll get into it tonight.
Okay, good. All right, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to come in with nothing, and you don't want to come in saying, "I'm just going to max out my credit cards." That's not what you want to do.
Right.
And you're not going to be taking out mortgages. That's not what you're going to do. So, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We also are going to cover the tools, which is really your expertise.
That's the key to this.
The few key tools that you have to have as a land investor or any kind of investor to be successful and to source the deals. We're going to talk about. You want to elaborate on that for a second? Or want to keep going?
I answered a very detailed question a couple days ago in Bigger Pockets about because somebody literally asked this question. There's a bunch of data sources out there now, which I don't understand because there aren't. But
Right.
How do I choose which one? And is RealQuest okay? And they asked about a couple other ones, and in the end, the answer is you need RealQuest if you're serious about this in any way.
Right.
You need RealQuest.
You got to have the best. Don't buy a
And you need
list.
some instruction on how to use it.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So we're going to talk about that in detail.
Right. That'll be really good. We're going to also cover.
We're going to make this easy for yourself, not hard.
That's the whole point. Isn't that funny? Some people, what I think happens? Just sidebar. You know how there's people that walk around that say, I spent 80 hours on that, and like they're going to get a medal for it? That's not how we roll.
Yeah, they're probably from the Midwest.
Maybe.
Because there's an unwritten contest. Because I'm from Michigan, I can say this stuff.
Yes.
It's whoever suffers gets, for some reason, if you suffer more, you get an award. Or you get
Exactly.
Do you ever hear somebody just say, oh, yeah, well, it used to be I had to go through the sno and go to work that way.
Right, uphill both ways.
Congratulations, you suffered the most.
Right. That's not what this is
Move to
about.
California, have fun and turn deals if you want.
Exactly.
No, I wouldn't suffer if I did that.
Thank you.
Stay in Michigan then.
There you go. There you go. All right. The other two more topics we have. Well, there's 3 parts or 5 parts to this. So that's first and second. The traits we identified. Second is Jack's tools. The third thing we're going to cover tonight is the 45-day start to finish. I'm going to outline that because you and I did a show on it. Everybody loved it, and everybody keeps asking for a calendar. They want to know how fast can I really do this, and how much time do I need to spend on it? You know, how quickly can I get a deal and test this, if you will, or even just see if I'm good at it, or if I can get the same results like you do.
Right.
So we went into a really slow, methodical, you know, kind of like the guy that on Monday's show this week, Kyler Dawson, covered. There's times Kyler did 2 to 3 hours a week. There's times he did no time at all a week, and he was successful. So we're going to go into our little 45-day outline of start to finish buying, you know, sourcing, finding, buying, recording, advertising, posting, selling it, all the way to completion, a deal. So we're going to cover that.
45 days is if you really take your time and,
Yep.
and if you have a job.
Yep.
Hey, by the way, she's talking about Kyler Dawson, who's a member of ours. He was nice enough to grant us an interview
on Monday.
It aired on Monday.
Uh-huh.
It's an audio-only podcast, because by definition, that's what a podcast is.
Correct.
We're breaking the rules here. You got to catch it. It's if you haven't listened to it, go back and it's really worth listening to.
Yeah.
It's actually amazing. It's amazing.
It's so fun.
I'm so proud of him.
You know what I love too, when we
Kyler,
do these.
you rock, by the way.
Yes, when we do these podcasts with our members, it's really just a random. We just throw it out there. Hey, anybody want to be on the show? And it's like yeah, and we don't even talk about it. There's no coaching. There's no.
We didn't pay him.
No paying. Nothing.
Sounds
it's
like
just,
we paid him.
It does.
That's
I
how
know.
positive he was.
I know.
I was looking
but it's
for
just
something
kind of
wrong.
like, you know, bring it, good, bad, or otherwise. We want to know what's your experience and tell us how you're doing. And it's been like, wow, good stuff. Okay, so the 45-day outline, that's the third thing. The fourth thing we're going to cover tonight is the mistakes that we see. Because, you know, we're gonna
There's
cover.
actually some content tonight.
There really is some things that we've seen people slip up on, and how we've helped them, and you know, things we've identified so we can save more people from making those same mistakes. And then the last thing is going to be Q&A, and I think that's everybody's favorite.
Right.
It's kind of like our member call, but in person.
Can we ice out about 8 minutes where I talk about the people that I had to kick out of the group so far?
Oh, right now?
Why? No, and tonight.
Well, it's going to be a positive event.
I always try to just trip you up, Joe.
I know.
You always have to be so positive. What the heck?
No, it's a
We got to talk about
positive
some bad
event.
stuff. It's not all peaches.
You know what? I'm going to leave that to everybody. Here's what's going to happen. Tonight is going to be like everything else that we do, what's going to be completely honest. And someone's going to say, I have no money. What do I do? And we're going to be honest and go, well, maybe you need to wait.
So the potential stuff. Okay, so it just works itself out.
Oh,
that way.
yeah.
All
I mean,
right.
we're not going to be,
All right,
I'm
fair
not
enough.
going to sugarcoat anything tonight. I'm going to be like we always do.
Yeah.
We're going to be honest. So
It's just us.
good, bad, or otherwise, we're going to tell you the truth.
That's right.
And you know what? And people ask us all the time about times that we failed, and like when the market took a
Yeah.
big, you know, turn in 2008, 9, 10. You know how we recovered, and we talk about it, and we talk about we screwed up, which is true. We did some things that weren't right, and we figured it. Now we're saving everybody else.
If we have time tonight, I'm going to spend 5. Well, I'm going to spend the time that a TED Talk takes, which I think is what
18 minutes.
Right. How long is this whole thing tonight?
Oh, it's technically 90 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna
6:30 to 7 is kind of a sign in, get settled. You and I talk from 7 to 8, and then 8 to 8:30 is Q&A.
All right.
And then 9 o'clock's beer time. 9 o'clock's
gonna have
cocktail
cocktails?
hour. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we are.
Depends on the group. We'll see.
Okay.
Well, you and I will be having cocktails. I don't know if we'll invite anybody.
In a very animated and fun way, if we have time tonight, and if it's appropriate, I'm going to tell my story from start to finish. I'm going to tell my story from sitting at a coffee table in 1999, turning that first deal, you know,
All right.
from Pennsylvania, turning the first deal in Arizona, and then till, let's say, today, or tomorrow.
How much time do you need?
Today. I can do that in 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. But if we could make it a Q&A thing where that's the Q&A. Like, stop right there, man. Hold on. What do you mean you turned a deal from Pennsylvania? That kind of let's just be those. I can hear people saying this now. I get this question weekly. It's over. What do you mean? Well, that was 1999, and that was 2004. So there's no more land to flip.
Right.
Which is the silliest thing I've ever heard.
Exactly.
In fact, now more than ever, if you know a little bit about computers, it's better and easier and way more profitable. And maybe that specific $100 an acre model may or may not. Well, I mean, it hasn't waned for us.
Right.
Maybe that model has changed a little bit, but it's not any different.
Right.
I'll tell you there's never been more opportunity for a bunch of reasons. Most of them are because of the tools we provide and the amount of data that we can collect in one spot. There's never been more opportunity for taking infill lots or larger equity type deals, more expensive deals, buying them for 20 or 30 or 40% of what they're worth and selling them for way more. You want to talk about your 45-day thing?
Yeah.
I mean, do one of those deals and make $100,000.
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't recommend it as your first deal, but we'll talk about that tonight.
That was me exhaling that big sigh before Jack went into that 10-minute rant.
Was it that long?
It was a long. I kept trying to pause. Just okay. I'm just teasing you. No, I was going to explain that sigh was me. That was my exhale of relief, which is true about.
That I'm going to go tonight?
We were just going to talk nonstop. Just kidding. No. No, my exhale about what you said about how much easier this is. We launched Land Academy 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And even from then until now, the tools, the engineering things that we have at our fingertips, the stuff that we're bringing to the table with like JillLive.com and your Parcel Fact and Countywise and these great sites and things that we've got coming up. I mean, we didn't even have that 2 years ago, and I'm so excited. And I know it's even going to get better.
Countywise, Parcel Fact, Jill Live, Land Crowd Fund.
Yeah.
All those .coms are they're rapidly being developed. I mean, I'm putting our IT staff. Hey, IT staff, if you guys watch this, I'm sorry. They worked all through the weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm really I'm calling it a Steve Job. I'm Steve Jobsing this thing because I'm probably not the most pleasant person to be around, but we got to get these products out.
I know.
And like you said, they just rock. It's the stuff that we use.
Exactly.
We're just dressing it up and cleaning it up so that it's you don't have to go through it like an aerospace engineer.
Exactly.
It's usable.
Yep. So let me wrap it up with this. If you're driving around right now and you're listening to this and you find your car all of a sudden detouring and heading to Hermosa Beach, come on in. We'll figure it out. We have to do a standing room only. We'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
We'd love to have you. It's totally free. Thank you.
Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss information that's me.
And inspiration that's me.
To get just about anything you want.
We use it every day to get property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
It'll be fun tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Me too.
I can't believe you made me wear the scarf.
I know. I thought it would be cute because we're doing some video stuff here, so I'm
it's not cute at
changing it up a little bit. You look a little like Snoopy, and I like it.
I look like a girl.
You do not. You look like you're like a hippie here. I'm adjusting your scarf to make it like cute. It's all good. You look handsome.
Thank you. Information and inspiration to buy undervalued property.
We are Jack and Jill, and
this was the Cash Flow from Land Show. We are the experts at acquiring property
of all kinds, not just land.
For half price, just so we can flip it for way more.
And really fast. Thanks for listening. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.